welcome to another episode of Dose and a Half Cincos. This is episode number 44. This week we will be covering, as part of our series, sports edition of That's What I Call Cincos. Our movie of the week this week is The Replacements, and as we've been doing for the last, forever now, Street Shark Season 3, Episode 8. If you caught the tail end of it, Stu caught me trying to cram for our episode and making sure we do this. But before we get started, as always, I'm your host, David.
I'm Stuart. Did you actually finish it? How far did you get in?
18 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
I mean, you got the gist of it then.
14 minutes in.
Oh yeah, that guy's
what
Ben.
I do.
That guy's Ben. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, that guy's Ben. But you could have done what I did. I just watched Street Sharks and then I just skipped every few seconds, 10 seconds ahead, and then I got a complete picture.
But then you never know if they're going to use that repeating animation motion again.
I do. I mean, it's pretty easy. You see it every 5 seconds or so. You see one of the animations reused. I mean, it's not that hard to spot. Come on, man.
Yeah, but before we get started in that, outside of our movie of the week this week, as well as Street Shark Season 3, Episode 8, what else have you guys been watching? Ben?
So I'm actually going to be starting on a new TV series called Dev soon. So that's from the creator of one of my favorite movies of the past few years, Annihilation. Oh my god. Oh, Alex Garland, you did it again. Woo!
I like how Ben has already given his grade of the product just by who made it, regardless of have you ever gone back on something that you've oh, this director, and then you saw it and then you went, that was dog shit?
No, because I'm never wrong. Woo, Alex Garland. Woo! Also,
what about the guy who directed Midsommar?
Oh yeah, I actually did go back on that one. I was pretty upset about that one.
And that's why I'm the host.
Yeah. Shut up, David.
So you are wrong sometimes.
60% of the time, I'm wrong.
100% of the time.
I love that Step Brothers quote.
What?
There's one other TV series I will be starring this coming week. There's a show on Netflix coming back this Friday, which I'm particularly excited about, called Dark. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one.
I thought it was a movie. Isn't that a German thing?
Yeah, it is a German
game. Oh, that was perfect, Dark.
Wow.
Yeah, you need the expansion pack to be able to play it.
I never got what that red thing was for. What does that do? What's the expansion pack?
I think it's extra RAM or something.
Is it actually purchasing more RAM for your N64?
I'm not sure.
I think it went from what was 64-bit, and then expansion. I don't know.
65-bit.
65 bits, yeah. Because everyone knows in computing, it goes 8, 16, 32, 64, and then 65. That's the max.
Nintendo 65.
Yeah. According to Amazon.com's description, the expansion pack allows the random access memory of the Nintendo 64 console to increase of the N64 console to increase from 4 megabytes to 8.
Whoa!
Of contiguous main memory.
Wow. What happens if you try to play it without the expansion pack?
I don't think it worked.
I don't think
if a game needed the expansion pack, you couldn't play it without it.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
Maybe this was a ploy by Nintendo just to purposely make the N64 slightly less powerful so they could sell a RAM upgrade.
Well, it's kind of funny because they built it with the expectation of adding that later. Because they had the slot for it. And that slot
we have a go-to-market strategy. What do we have to do? Just launch it now, and then we'll just buy it. We'll just build a slot so we can add more RAM.
Take the second piece of memory out, and we'll sell it to them later.
Dual channel? Are you crazy?
That's how it went down.
No, all right. Well, you heard it here first. So Dark, and what was the other one, Ben? Devs. Are these on Hulu, Prime, Netflix?
I know Dark's on Netflix.
Yeah, Dark is going to be on Netflix this coming Friday. Devs, I believe it's on Hulu or Amazon. I can't remember. One of the two.
Okay.
It's all the
But
same.
I'm particularly excited about Dark because this is the final season and it kind of wraps everything up. And yeah, it's definitely a very, very good sci-fi series from what I've
I really
watched.
thought that he was going to say it's a very dark film.
Wow.
All right,
There.
Stu, what about you? What have you been catching up on or watching?
I've been watching. Well, first of all, something.
Community and Simpsons. Great.
I'm
All
not
right.
Ben.
Yeah, you are. Wait a minute.
No, don't ever say that. I don't
Wait a
think I'd
minute.
live with myself if I thought that.
Me neither.
So this is the last episode of Dos and a Half Cinco's.
Yeah.
We'll be going to just Dos Cinco's.
Yeah.
We're going to be
And
losing
then
Stu.
Un Cinco's.
Yep. I killed myself because I had a fleeting thought that I was Ben for a second.
Actually, Stu, let me ask you a question. Do you like
What?
The Simpsons?
I mean,
Do you think Donald Glover's funny?
I mean,
Do you like ramen?
I mean, is it?
And Stu's dead.
And then I edit a gunshot in.
Actually, that with the social climate right now, maybe we shouldn't be joking about anything. I feel like
No, it's either
everybody
all
can be-
okay and none of it's okay.
All right, go ahead, Stu. Sorry, go ahead.
Let's see what I was watching. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say happy birthday to
What's
Ben. Happy
What's going
birthday
on?
to
To
Ben.
you.
What are you guys doing?
Happy
What's
birthday,
what are you guys
dear
what are you guys
Ben.
doing? We're gonna get copyright strike.
What's his
Happy
middle name?
birthday
Dude, we're gonna get copyright
to
strike.
Andrew Somali. Is that it?
Oh my
Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. Happy
From
birthday,
Dos-
Ben.
Yeah, from the Dos and a Half Cinco's
God damn
podcast.
it. God damn it.
We say happy birthday.
Fuck all y'all.
This is literally going to be I think this is the name of the episode. It's got to be Happy Birthday, Ben.
Wow.
Andrew
Somali.
Let's see. 1988, Warner Chappell Music purchased the company owning the copyright with the value of Happy Birthday estimated $5 million.
Actually, I think it's not on.
Isn't Michael
I
Jackson
think it's
own it?
free now. No, I think
Oh.
it's. Or there was the whole
just
copyright
limited
thing a while ago.
Yeah.
Happy Birthday is in the public domain. Thanks, Vice. The one time I'll actually read one of your articles.
Fuck Vice.
Excellent.
Anyways,
Maybe we just.
hmm.
Maybe we just we sing Spanish Fleet in the theme of Happy Birthday. We can get away with it.
Yeah, go ahead and let me know. Give me a rendition of that. How you think it would sound, David? With your fucking brilliant ideas. That's just Spanish Fleet.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday, man.
Birthday day. Birthday.
Yeah, see? You don't need my help. All right, go ahead, Stu. What else have you been catching up on?
I haven't really been watching anything new, although I did start playing The Last of Us Part 2. Haha, that rhymed.
Oh, what do you think of it so far?
I really like the combat mechanics. I really like the kind of exploration aspect of it, like how you can do kind of like almost like side quests that aren't part of, not even quests, but just like you can almost like semi-open worldly kind of go out and explore stuff that's not related to the main story.
Yep.
I like that. But I will say this, I do not care for the fucking lesbian relationship dynamic of it.
Ooh.
So at least so far, it has done nothing to the story.
I'm not aroused.
Yeah, they're not naked at all. So this is not the lesbian fantasy that I had always imagined. But not necessarily just
disappointed.
And just to be clear, it's not the fact that they're lesbians. It would be the same. I'd be equally disgusted in the story the story so far if they were heterosexual. If there was a dude and a chick.
You just don't like the fact that they've made it like this thing.
Yeah, I know what they're doing. I think everyone knows what they're doing. But so far, and this is I kind of take this back to like when it happened in like Game of Thrones. Like whenever there's like a relationship on screen that doesn't seem to make any sense other than the fact that here's a relationship, I get annoyed by that. And that's what it's been.
You don't like being told that they're like, this is something you have to accept if you're going to enjoy this series, and you have to like it.
I guess. I mean, so far I don't think it's done anything for the story, and I'm hoping that the entire game's not going to be like that.
Wait, just out of curiosity, what day in Seattle are you?
There's days.
Well, I mean, you already said that you're in that one part where you're
right.
kind of open world exploring, so it did say what
That's
day
right.
you
It
were
did
in.
say
Spoiler zone?
day something. It's like I'm in the. Let me see. If I try to frame this in a spoilery way. I think I'm at the first main objective of Seattle, if that
Okay.
gives you an idea.
So you're pretty, because based off of your vague description of what's going on, you're kind of exploring the area. I mean, they tell you like you have to go and solve this one thing to advance, but at the same time, you got like this cool little map, and you're like, oh, I can kind of check
I'm
out
gonna
this
go
other
over here. Oh, this
Yeah.
one note I found says there's stuff over here. I'm gonna go over there.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the area I'm in right now.
Yeah.
But I'm just, and maybe not even so much the lesbian relationship. So far, I just don't like the other character.
Oh, Dina, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I forgot.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, you can finish your thought. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I'm just still salty about stuff that happened earlier in the game, but
yeah. I will say that I am also playing The Last of Us, and so far I am enjoying all of it so far. There are definitely a few sequences where I felt myself pretty mad over what happens, and man, whew, like, I don't know. I actually had to stop playing because of how it made you feel at the time.
now was this an intention? You think this was
Yeah, it was intentional. It was
intentional part of the game? Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely an intentional part, and I am very curious to see what you think of this one part coming up, but
Which I have not gotten to yet. Okay.
which you haven't gotten to yet. It's still quite a.
Let me tell you what the buildup is to this.
Yeah, so here we go in the spoiler zone. So, Stu,
how would you feel if this were to happen? Not saying it does, but just asking. All right. I think my main gripe right now is just that it just feels so forced that I have to, some of these interactions between the two characters right now. It's almost like I liken it to like if you were, let's say if well, you guys aren't single, but if you were like hanging out with a friend and their significant other, whoever it is, and like you're like hanging out, you're all having a good time, but then they start doing like whispering sweet nothings into their ears, and you're just kind of in earshot, like you're doing it in front of you.
Yeah, David.
It's kind of like that, where it's like, okay, this isn't doing anything.
You told me that you wanted more PDA.
This is just annoying me now. So,
yeah,
like Ben, I sent you a Snapchat last night about it. Yeah. I don't know.
Hey,
I really like the song. The song.
That was a good rendition.
I like the rendition. I could have used it without that stupid fucking other character sitting there with fucking doughy like eyes or whatever the fuck.
So. And then they fucked.
That's another gripe I have. Not to get into it too much. I don't want to turn this into the Last of Us Part 2 episode.
Yeah, David.
I got other gripes for that. This is too much of a spoiler, so it's not that. And just disclaimer, it's not because
even though I'm not playing it, I do enjoy how much you and Ben are both kind of triggered about this.
To be super clear, it is nothing to do with them being lesbians. Absolutely nothing.
Wait, okay, so I'm on like the opposite side of the fence where I am completely enjoying everything that I've come across in this game, whether it be the gameplay, story, like comedy notes, all the parts that were like, go for the gut punch. I don't know. But at the same time, I am kind of curious because I have heard a lot of people are pretty upset about this game. And I don't want to read those reactions yet because I'm not done yet.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are getting those reactions from that leak that happened like a few months ago.
Right.
Oh,
So
before the game
they,
even came out.
yeah, so a lot of people already know everything that happens, and
Oh,
if
story and everything.
yeah, like everyone got like the whole story. So I don't want to know anything about it until I'm completely done and I could say, okay, I am safe. I can hear everything
Here's the
now.
crazy thing, right? Is that like whenever leaks come out, how do you guys feel about that kind of stuff? Like if it's about like a new phone or anything like that, no problem. But anytime I see like a new leak about a movie that I was really interested in watching or a game that I wanted to play and I saw the leak, I would avoid it like the plague because I'm like, I don't want to go
Yeah.
into this with any
Who
like thoughts
I,
or anything like that.
I
I
don't know
hate
who
those
gets
people.
any enjoyment out of that.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck those
I'm
guys.
gonna get this entire thing spoiled for me, and that's it.
it's like, hey guys, the I got the next Marvel MCU movie, but it was shot on a fucking flip phone. Uh, and so I got to watch the whole. I know what happens next. So like, yeah, but you fucking watched it on a flip phone. Like, how'd you get any enjoyment out of that?
I did.
Like it's not even
I
those
enjoyed
people.
ruining it for you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the kind of people I'm kind of like pissed
oh,
at. It's not even the people that are bragging about, hey, I watched it, I know everything. It's those people that know they're going to make people mad and say like, hey, guess what fucking happens? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
fuck that.
kind of like when the Harry Potter book came out and everybody kept yelling Snape kills Dumbledore, and I was like, but
that
to
was
me, I didn't read the
that was
books. To me,
awesome.
it was like,
I
really?
I was one of those kids, unfortunately.
And they're like, you're a nerd. You read the book, and he goes, yeah, but so did you to be able to spoil it.
That's
Yeah.
And then
I commend those guys because I thought anyone who was into Harry Potter was a dork.
Yeah. Take that, my sister. Yeah. And and also I'm really sorry retroactively.
who's never gonna listen to this?
She'll never
Yeah.
forgive you.
Actually, we'll just send this one clip to her just to let her know.
But we'll cut it out where you say you're not sorry. So we'll edit it.
Yeah,
It'll,
just
it'll
edit
just
it
be
so it
that on
says
repeat.
I'm not sorry.
So, all right. Well, it sounds like you guys have a little bit more time to go on The Last of Us. Once you guys are done with it, I think if you guys want to, we can do a special episode where we just talk about The Last of Us.
Yeah, okay, David.
You have to play it first, you puss.
I played the first one.
Okay.
I just don't want to spend $60 to play the second one.
Why, are you some kind of homophobe?
No?
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like a homophobe
That sounds
response.
like just what a homophobe would say.
Wait, what? A homophobe says what? What?
Got him.
All right, let's go ahead and we'll move on. This week's Street Sharks episode, season 3, episode 8. This one they
To shark or not to shark?
that
Why
is
did they
that
name
is
it that?
the
Why,
question.
why,
Well, it's because they
why did
start
they
out
name it
and
that?
during their episode they turn back into humans because they get tricked by Dr. Paradigm to take this serum, and they realize that they're nothing without their shark powers, even though they still have their brains, and they enjoy it for 8 hours. And then they decide to go back so that way they can stop Dr. Paradigm from taking this car and polluting people by gene slamming them with smog. That's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
that's pretty much it. It's pretty. I would say this title probably has the most coherence to it as far as to what happens in the episode. Because
The one that makes the most sense.
it's the moral dilemma of, do I stay a shark? I have this option to go back to being human, but then
Right.
I don't get to be a street shark.
But at the
I
same
thought
time, I will say that it is unfortunate naming. Just to shark or not to shark. I
Well,
mean,
if you're thinking of shark like,
Sharks
pulling
with a
down a
T.
girl's tube top or something, then yeah, I
every time
guess.
they say that, I think of that episode of 30 Rock. Where Tracy like sharks Jenna
Yeah,
because he was really obsessed with sharking for some reason.
right. But I was watching this and I don't know, maybe I've just caught up in the moment, but I feel like the episode the arc in this story was probably one of the most coherent ones I can recall watching, where they have like Dr. Paradigm's plan actually like kind of makes sense a little bit, where like, okay, street sharks are causing all these problems for him. It wouldn't be so bad if there weren't these street sharks. And oh, I go turn them back into humans, and then they maybe have the moral dilemma of, man, I really want to go back to being a human. And so there's that 8 hours where, he was unfettered by the street sharks. So, but then they decided to remain street sharks. Spoiler.
Well,
So
because they wanted to do some good, and they realized that it would be the only way to do that would be to stay a shark.
all right, gun to your head, David. Would you take the serum after the 8 hours?
No, are you kidding me? Being a shark would be awesome. Being able to eat concrete and eating like
10,000 Mondo burgers.
That's right, and then
Not Mondo burgers. That's Good Burger.
Humongo burger,
Humongo
and then be able to eat like metal and save lives. Yeah, sure. No, I'd prefer to be a shark. I think.
Not
What about you too, Ben?
I
I didn't watch it.
No, I did. I don't know if I would actually do it. I mean,
10 seconds he skipped.
Gun to your head. 3, 2, 1. Shark or not shark?
not shark.
How about you, Stu?
Shark.
So you would take the serum then, is what you're saying?
I would take the serum once and not take it again after the 8 hours.
But no, you need to take it again for it to be permanent.
Oh, I thought that you had to take it again so that you turn back. Okay, yeah,
No.
Then you
you
would take it then. You would take the serum.
Mm-hmm.
This is my plan. I'll split the difference here. I would
take it after 4 hours and make it.
I would take the full. I wouldn't take the serum at first. I'd give the 2 serums to Ben, whatever his name is. Ben. His name Ben's like the thing you get if you don't exhale.
Yeah.
I would give that to him, let him analyze it and reproduce it and make more of it so that I could switch in and out of being a shark or human.
Oh, just do it 8-hour increments?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's pretty smart.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah. What if there was like this weird side effect where like only every time you took it, less of you came back as a shark?
Yeah, you got shrimp dick.
Did you say shrimp chips? I don't see that as
you got shrimp chips. You got shrimp chips.
That doesn't sound so bad.
My shrimp chips.
Sounds kind of pleasant.
We would weed that out in testing. We would do some double blind studies.
Dear God. All right. But yeah, so as far as Street Sharks episodes go, this one was kind of zany, but I don't know.
You're saying the other ones aren't zany?
I don't know. For some reason, this felt like less Street Sharky. This one seemed a little bit less like crazy. I don't know.
That's why I'm saying it was the more coherent episode.
Yeah. Or there was like some other things to like consider and stuff like that. So.
And we almost got some hot furry action.
Wait,
with
furry?
Huh?
With the model,
right. Are they considered furries? They have scales.
I don't know. That's true, but they don't really call them scalies. I don't think.
Yeah.
No, sharks don't have scales.
So, but are they considered furries though?
They're not furry.
They're
all right. We
gotta get be furries.
Slippies.
Are there Reddits? Are there subreddits for furries? I need to go ask this question.
I don't want to find out.
Ben,
sure you don't, Ben.
That sounds like someone who already is a subscriber of all the subreddits. Ben, just go ahead and stop lying.
I'm willing to bet half of your bookmarks are like somehow furry related tangent.
I only do it as a joke so I can send it to my friends and send it to their homepage.
Guys, all right. Welcome to a special edition of Dos Cinco's Furry Edition. Now that's what I call furries. All right,
here we go. Guys,
here we go. Who's your favorite furry? All right, gun to your head, David. Who's your favorite furry, and why is it Lola Bunny?
What?
Because she's fine as fuck. That's why.
Yeah, and she can play some ball. She knows how to handle them balls.
She's interested. She has the same interests.
Oh my God!
Playing
all right, let's go ahead and move on.
Wait,
box office turned up. What?
No.
What?
I got to get to the bottom of this. What do you call?
You really want to know if they're furries or not?
What do you call someone with a shark persona? This is according to Reddit.
Is that a persona?
Persona.
No, it can't be. No, but that's for furries. Like,
yeah, hang on. That's what That's what this person's asking. What do you call someone with a shark as their persona? Like we have scaly. Oh wait, they do have scalies.
Oh my god, they're called scalies.
So here's the question. So that's the headline. The whatever you call it in Reddit is
Mhm.
like we have scalies and avians. Is there a word for sharks? Not even a
Wait,
furry.
whoa,
Here,
hold on, back up, back up, back up. There are avians?
yep, scalies and avians.
God damn it. God damn it.
This person's
Okay.
asking the exact same question we are, and they they qualify the end of it with, "I'm not even a furry. I'm just curious."
You guys are correct. The sharks do have scales, so they would be considered scalies.
Let's see,
Wait, what happens
scaly.
if yours is an octopus or something?
Okay, that's a bridge too far, Ben.
That's come on. Don't be ridiculous. And don't make us put you on timeout for the next 5 minutes as
I
we
think
move on.
Ooh.
I think the answer here is no. There's no special term. They're just furry, so it's still furry. So
Okay. All right.
thank
Let's
God.
go ahead after that rabbit hole tangent.
Rabbit
We'll
hole. Ooh, ooh.
We're gonna skip over our box office rundown.
So the Lola Bunny rabbit hole. Am I right?
Box office rundown once again is still not up and running because theaters aren't open yet. Our opening date, I believe, still is July 4th weekend. I believe, is that correct, Ben?
Yep, should be.
Okay. And we've seen some pushback on some of the movies. I mean, Tenet was supposed to come out on July 17th. That's been pushed back by a week. Something
2 weeks,
like that.
I think. Yeah.
2 weeks. Okay. So we'll have to keep that monitoring and see how that's going. But so far, right now, it seems like coronavirus cases are still continuing to rise, but the country is slowly opening up. So we might have some theater releases in about 2 weeks, and then we'll see what happens from there. All right, so we'll go ahead and skip right over that, and we'll go straight into our movie of the week this week. This week was part of our part 2 of our That's What I Call Cinco's Sports Edition. I was able to pick the movie this week. I picked The Replacements, and as far as synopsis goes, I'll go ahead and I'll do this one this time.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Mhm.
so
Let's
gracious!
hear it.
What a
The
gracious host.
Gather around, gather
I
around. Let's hear it.
know. The NFL players have just gone on strike with 4 games left in the season. Coach Jimmy McGinty is called upon to fill a team and inspire them to win 3 out of 4 games to get to the playoffs. These replacement players have been given what every athlete dreams of, a second chance. That's it.
Boo.
That didn't sound written,
Boo.
rehearsed, or written at all.
I
Boo.
did write it, and it was also rehearsed. Because I
That's
did
what-
not want to come unprepared once again.
Can I get the first draft notes that your Irene undoubtedly gave you on your performance? Like,
She was like, "You don't." She told me not to include starring Keanu Reeves, Gene Hackman,
directed
that,
by
or Orlando.
Best Boyd by second rig unit by
No, I was gonna say skinny black guy, twin black guys, that other preacher black guy who scores a touchdown.
wow, spoilers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this movie is 20 years old actually. So
Yeah,
Holy
so
shit.
there's not much spoilers left in this one, but this one's one of my favorite movies. As I already explained on the last podcast, the reason why I wanted to pick this one, it's mostly just because every Thanksgiving, instead of watching the football games, which are usually not very good, this is usually on TBS and TNT, and it's really grown on me. So I'll go ahead and I'll let Ben. You can go ahead and tell me what you thought about the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I honestly haven't heard of this movie before you mentioned it. I know, right? I've never heard of it.
So when
I
I said The Replacements, did you think I said The Replacement Killers with Chow Yun Fat?
No, I actually thought you said we're talking about the movie The Benchwarmers. And then
That's a good choice for another. That's what I call Cinco's for sports.
I don't know. I started the movie. I'm like, wait, why is Kiana here? What I don't remember
You
seeing
know
him on
why
the
he's here.
poster.
He's always there.
I thought it was Bill and Ted, and then straight into the Matrix.
I will say this movie is definitely a product of its time. The soundtrack, the offbeat characters, and everything. It felt like a 2000s rom com mixed in with a sports movie, mixed in with part Ocean's 11 that came together for something that's oddly charming. I will give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
That those were all the words you said.
Yeah,
Up to
I was
leading
like,
up to this did not indicate you were going to give it a 6.5.
I
You're
thought he
right.
would at least give it like a 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
This
Give it a
movie
4.
really grew on me. It's become one of my favorites of all time. I will literally label this the best movie of all time, 5 out of 10. Nothing else could ever top this movie. Actually, 4 out of 10.
It really tugged at my heartstrings and made me think differently as a person. 3 out of 10.
It changes the way I see movies in a different light, and nothing else will everything else will pale in comparison. I don't think I will be able to ever set my eyes on another movie because everything else will look so bad. 1 out of 10. Because that's what we're rating, right?
Yeah.
How far up the scale we're going, right?
Yeah.
This is the number 1 movie, so
I
this
think-
is number 6 movie out of 10.
I think Ben's doing a golf score, but then even then, that's not that great.
Yeah, 6 out of 10 is not good.
It's pretty good. That's like
No,
a
it's
D
not.
plus.
I
It got
would
me
know.
through high school.
I played golf today on my day off, and I did
Wow.
not do good, and it sounded a lot like a 6 out of 10.
Wow.
David, don't make me switch sides on you.
Fine. Please, I'm always not on this side anyways. But all right, Stu, what about you?
So yeah, this was
2 out of 10.
this was I was actually pretty excited when you said pick this movie because this is probably one of those movies I kind of forgot about, but I'd always enjoyed it when I watched it, just because the goofy all the goofy characters and everyone likes a sports movie kind of like comeback or underdog story.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was always enjoyable for me. Yeah, and I just really liked just the whole, I don't know, just like the whole thing. Just there wasn't anything too much that I didn't really enjoy, so I give this one an 8 out of 10.
Oh, thanks, Stu.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, I mean, my sentiments is I felt like I was very biased when I went into this movie, but just in general, because of the fact that sports has been off the table for almost 3-4 months now, and we're probably going to start seeing basketball at the end of next month. So that's another 4 weeks without, another major sport outside of, golf has been going on, but I mean, that's not the most popular sport in the US. So, football is currently at risk. Baseball, there's a chance we might not even have a season, which I know that Darren will be very, very sad if there's no baseball season. But just having that kind of outlet and just kind of seeing this is part of the reason why I've loved watching sports. And I know that, Stu, Ben, both of you guys have the same sentiment, right? The reason why we enjoyed watching the, 2000 Lakers, or we enjoyed watching any of these, like, the Kobe only teams where it was him and Pau Gasol that were running pretty much the whole thing. And you knew that, like, they didn't have some of the firepower some of the other teams did, right? And that they had to come together. And that's the one thing that's great about sports in general. So for me, like, this movie is always going to be a 10 out of 10 no matter how many times I've seen it. I've watched this probably 15 times, at least once a year, if not probably twice. Every time I see it on TNT, even though it's like 50% through the movie, I'll finish it till the end. It's just, for me, it's just, that's how satisfying. And I think that's where I started really liking a lot of Keanu Reeves movies, was from here. I know that there's Matrix, I know that there's Bill and Ted, but for me, this was the movie that really kind of solidified the fact that I really enjoyed, even though this was probably one of his more goofy roles as well, right?
Yeah, it's a little weird. I was thinking about it because when I looked it up, this movie came out in 2000, and Matrix came out in 99. Was it 99 or 98? It was 99.
98.
Was it 99?
I don't know. Whatever.
Well, I think it was 99. But anyways, So I was just thinking back to like how weird it must have been to like go see Keanu Reeves as Neo in the Matrix, fucking shooting up of all these bad guys, all serious. And then he comes out the next year. Your next installment of Keanu Reeves is him playing this, lighthearted, quarterback in a football movie. So I thought that was interesting. Kind of, I was trying to imagine what it would have been like back then.
I'm sure it would probably be a little bit of a shock. They'd be like Keanu Reeves as Shane Falco.
Yeah,
What was that?
Neo as Shane Falco.
Yeah. So it's a coming
So
together story, and they
you said 10
work
out of
hard.
10.
10 out of 10.
Wow.
Would you say this is like your favorite football movie?
I would have to say, yeah. I mean, this one's up there. I mean, favorite football movie? Yeah, probably. I know that a lot of people will probably give me some grief because there is Remember the Titans, there is Blindside, um, and I know that it probably made Ben very sad to hear that Replacement's my favorite, not Golden Receiver.
God damn.
Um, if we had reviewed Golden Receiver, Ben, what would you have given it?
God damn. Like 10 out of 10. Holy shit. It's a dog that could play football and basketball. Hello? Are you
There's no
serious?
rule that say dogs can't play football.
He's the
There
LeBron
isn't.
James of dogs.
He can do it all, folks. He can do it all. Yeah. So, I mean, also it was the chemistry between. Yeah, actually, the funny thing is, after you watch this, you realize that there's a lot of star power in this movie. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Gene Hackman's in this one, and
John Favreau.
that's right. And I was like, when I watched it the first time with again this time for our review, Irene was watching. She goes, "Oh, it's Happy," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, from Spider, from what? How would you say it? Would you say is he from Spider Man? Is he from Iron Man? Which one is it?
From
He's
Marvel.
from the MCU.
MCU. You count everything that's Marvel as MCU, or it's only just that series for, let's say, for example, like the Infinity
Well,
War series, the
I mean,
arc.
Fantastic Four is not MCU, right? So
Yeah. Anything that's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not anything owned by Fox.
which is pretty
Not
much
anything
John
owned by
Favreau. If John Favreau was involved, it's probably MCU.
There was Orlando Jones was in this movie
Oh,
as
yeah. That
well.
was right.
Yeah, what
Uh,
happened to him? He was so big back then.
I know he's kind of like. I mean, Chris Tucker was really, really big back in the day too. And then what happened to
Well,
Chris Tucker?
well, he became the
Uh,
highest paid actor in Hollywood, and then
And then decided to rest on all the money that he's ever made.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that sounds right.
wasn't Orlando Jones on a TV show recently, and then he got fired or something? I can't remember. Yeah, he was on that TV show American Gods. That's what it was. And I know that was a pretty high profile TV show. Had Ian McShane and everything.
Mm. Oh, that's
So,
right. I remember seeing that Ian McCain thing. Yeah, I
yeah.
remember Orlando Jones back then. He was like one of like the big names.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked him in movies.
Yeah. So, all right. Any other thoughts outside of the fact that we got a John Madden, Pat Summerall commentary that I know that Stu really enjoyed?
Oh, wow.
Roy was in it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Roy, Roy from The Office.
Yeah.
I've been
Oh
watching.
yeah, as the deaf tight end.
Yeah.
You know, with the political climate that we're currently in,
Mhm.
I really don't. Do you guys think that we would have been able to have a movie like this? Because
What?
there was a
Probably.
lot of like very,
Yeah, there's like a lot of movies like this. Would not fly today for
but
whatever
I
reason.
kind of, but the fact that they did back then, I really enjoyed it. Like a lot of the jokes, even though it's kind of like what you were saying, Stu. It's either all is okay or none of it's okay, and I
Right.
feel like this is one of those that goes in the, hey, guess what? Everybody's gonna get made. Everybody's gonna get made fun of in this movie.
Right. I think one of the charming things about this movie is that with all like these things that you might see that might piss off people today, not even piss off people, just it might trigger people who get triggered about stuff where it's like whatever the black jokes, the Asian jokes, the
Mhm.
even the British guy jokes, or I guess white guy jokes. Like in the end, it all kind of contributed to like the
Charm.
story of the team because that they're all going at it with each other, but then they all come together to go on this run, and they become friends and all that, or they have this deep bond because of it.
Yeah.
So I think it.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't like all of a sudden they got together and they became an all-star team, kind of like the kind of reminds you a little bit of like Space Jam, right? It's like a bunch of guys that you didn't really expect that would be able to play basketball, and then
Yeah. No one,
they
not
win.
all these people who don't get along, and they come together to beat
Face
the
a common
monster.
enemy. Yeah, make the playoffs for another team, and then they don't get to play in it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll just dive right into our spoiler zone. Yep, we're here. I wanted to ask, all right, Stu, what was your favorite moment
Oh man, there's so many.
or favorite character?
Oh, there's so many.
Oh,
um, I think on this go around, I think before my favorite character was the sumo wrestler,
oh, Jumbo.
yeah, Jumbo. But I also like the brother, like the giant black dude brother guys.
Oh, the Jamal and Andre Jackson.
Yeah, like them. And shit, I don't know. There's just they're all so good. I can't even. And then John Favreau's character was good.
Oh,
And
dude, he's
then
always so good. That's
that's,
one of my favorite things to watch is him.
I don't know. It's hard. It's just hard to pick. But I'll say I'll go with Jumbo.
Okay. What about you, Ben?
Favorite character had to be John Favreau, hands down. He stole every scene he was in. Like, holy shit, he sold the shit out of his character. He was just overly optimistic. He was, he had that high energy to him, but he was so fucking brutal at the same time. He's like, I'm going to get that fucking ball. I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking do it. And then he he's all the way up to 11, and he dials it back to 1 after the whistle blown.
All right,
Just like,
all right, Danny, go sit down. Okay.
yeah, it's just like, all right.
I got you the ball.
I got you the ball. You got me the ball. I got you the ball. You got me the ball.
All right.
Okay, Danny, go sit down. I think for me, it's always come back to like Gene Hackman because it's just kind of like seeing how his character as Jimmy McGinty needs to figure out some way to kind of manage all of these characters, right? All these different personalities that are on the team, getting Shane Falco or Keanu Reeves' character out of his own head and getting him into the game, and then saying, "Hey, look, you have a chance to be a winner. Go be a winner." Right. And then just kind of like taking these guys that nobody else would have gotten a second shot at or given a look at, and then kind of getting them to all believe in themselves and then just kind of bring them together. But then also doing it and knowing that, like, hey, this is your weakness. Don't worry, I'll cover for you. Like, for example, when Orlando Jones's character can't catch a football, and they said, we're going to run the same play
Yeah.
and you're going to catch the ball. And he says, Coach, is this ain't this illegal? What are you going to do? Throw you in football jail?
I forget. Yeah, Orlando Jones' character. Man, there's so many. Pretty much every character who had like who wasn't just like an extra was enjoyable.
Everybody got their own fair share. This is what I really liked is everybody got a fair shake on character development, right? Backstory. And then at some point, everybody got a chance to be able to kind of do something.
Yeah, contribute to the game.
Correct. This is how you do like those tag team movies or those like buddy comedy movies, or for example, when we reviewed It Chapter 2, right? I felt like the backstory sucked up so much that there was no time to be able to do anything in the current time. And I felt like this was really good where it kind of was just like, hey, this explains how he got to this position. This explains who he is. And then now you get to see him and then put it all together and then here, go, right? This is now your package, you run with it. So I really enjoyed that because like it helped with the pacing, it helped with the story arc, and it really put everything all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right, favorite character for Stu was Jumbo. Then what about the first moment? If I were to say first moment that sticks out to you, what would you say?
Oh man, the John Madden commentary of the scene between Keanu Reeves and what's her face. Man, that was.
Oh, when he's calling the kiss.
Oh yeah,
He's calling the play. He's calling the play.
He's been shut out all night long. What are you gonna do for it? What are you gonna do, John? You got to go for it.
You gotta go for it. That was good. That was good. I am glad with how much they put John Madden in this fucking
Oh,
movie. And the
Yeah,
fucking play-by-play that he actually gave, where he's drawing everything out in that
the
I
subsequent
can't remember.
play that he was calling, actually
Yeah,
calling.
yeah, and he's like,
oh,
and this is what's
where he was
gonna
drawing
happen.
on the ball.
And the whole fucking screen just pretty much turns yellow at that point, you know?
The guy who started out with the ball ends up with the ball in for a touchdown.
I like all the sound effects in that scene where he's gonna throw it into his back, doink,
Boink.
and he's gonna get hit, whack.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really good. One of my favorite John Madden quotes from that movie was after Jumbo scores. He goes, "Man, I love it when a fat guy scores." And he goes, "Why is that? Why is that, John?" He goes, "Because then you get a fat guy spike, and then you got a fat guy dance." Oh man, so jump on his back, jump on his back. Yeah. So every moment was really good. I guess the only question I had for you guys was, did it make sense to you guys that when the NFL players decided to go on strike, that the cheerleaders went on strike as well?
That I was kind of confused about that too. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
I
why are they
didn't know
looking for
either.
cheerleaders now?
I have no clue.
I don't know if that's how. Maybe in the NFL, maybe that's how NFL contracts work. I don't know. Maybe.
Every football player has a designated
Yeah,
cheerleader that
exactly.
whatever happens to their contract happens to them.
Yeah, you get traded. All right, you're going to the other team now, cheerleader.
Oh man, dude, you better hope that you're a franchise player then.
um, but I'm more curious about something that went down in the movie. Actually,
Okay.
two things. One related to what we're talking about right now, though, was when because you had John Favreau. He was like a defensive like player. I don't know what position, but he played defense.
Middle
But,
linebacker.
right, but then you see him on offense later on in the movie.
Which one when was he on offense?
When there were a couple times he was gonna the guy who was gonna go to prison, the guy who was a prisoner, like who was in
Oh,
jail.
he's like, oh, I'll block for you.
Yeah, he's gonna block for him. Like, wait a minute,
Oh yeah.
does that
So
does that ever happen in NFL?
oh yeah, sure. The defensive players play both sides of the ball sometimes. I mean, there's been cases where, I mean, the guy who was going to go to jail, I forgot his Wilkinson or Ray Smith as they called him. Um, he switched on the side because he wanted to run the ball or whatever. So they both, yeah, they
Okay,
sometimes do that.
okay. I mean, I know there was that. All I can recall is it was like 2 years ago when the Patriots or Bill Belichick put Gronkowski in to resist on
To play
defense or
defense.
something.
Oh yeah,
And
to block a field
they
goal.
fucking lost because of it.
Yeah, because he didn't
Um,
know what to do after that.
like he couldn't.
Actually, there's been a bigger there's been a trend in the NFL where they're starting to do that more, where some of the big like linebackers will come in and play tight end. So
Mm,
because they're really good at like pushing people around and blocking, but at the same time, since they're so big and tall, they usually have pretty good hands as well. So they'll go out and they'll catch. JJ Watt has 2 touchdowns in the last 2 years. I mean,
hmm.
he's a crap.
Non-interception touchdowns, I'm assuming.
They were receptions. And then sometimes they'll use offensive linemen sometimes as fullbacks, and they'll
Mm,
just run them down the middle because there's just so much weight behind
right.
it. So yeah, so they'll throw it up a little bit once in here and there, but usually when you do that, you have to tell the other coach. You have to inform the referee, hey, he's an eligible receiver or he's an offensive player, and
Uh,
then that's when. So usually that'll give them a key. It's just you can't just like sneak a guy on and all of a sudden just kind of do that. But yeah, no, I actually it was funny because literally after watching this movie, my entire YouTube for some reason was completely filled with just trick plays and like incredible plays in the NFL in the last like 10, 15 years. And there's some pretty good ones in there for sure. And then there's some really like dumb ones
I've gone down
about like yeah.
before.
Huh?
I've gone down that rabbit hole before.
I know, dude. I literally was like watching like video after video, and I was like, oh man, some of these are repeating, and then I'll just like I'm waiting for that one highlight I haven't seen, and then that will make the entire 18-minute video worth it. I'm like, oh, it's been like 3 hours. I probably should stop doing this. Um, but yeah. So, what about you, Ben? What else you got?
What else I got? What else
Mhm.
I got?
Yeah.
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Well, I have a question for you then, David.
all right, Stu.
You as our resident gambler person,
Oh.
can you
Our
explain
resident gambling addict.
our resident stereotypical Asian gambling addict?
Okay, Pai Gal, go ahead and spread the board. Go ahead, Stu. What's your question?
I've always wondered this. Every time I've seen this movie, I've never been able to figure out what happened in this scene. When at the end of the game, the kicker is gonna go. He's like getting super anxious because those
Because the
guys.
guys are they're threatening to take his pub away.
Yeah, but like, how could? Why is it that when Shane Falco pulls the football and decides to do a fake field goal, why is it like okay for him now?
It wouldn't have been okay. The only reason why it was okay is because they were saying that he needs to do something to impact the game of the score of the game. They wanted him to miss a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Shane took away that chance, now
Mm.
he's no longer responsible for any outcome that happens in the game. It's not really a gambling thing. It's more of just between those three dudes and him.
So he was supposed to.
Miss the field goal.
Oh, so he was up there and he was about to intentionally miss the field goal.
Correct. To be able to appease his
Right.
his
Okay.
debt collector.
Okay.
Because I'm sure the debt collectors probably had money on the other side or something like that. But then as soon as he pulls the ball from him and he tries to kick it and he breaks his arm, he is now out of the game.
Right.
So now he can't impact this at all. So they can't hold him responsible. Well, technically they can't hold him responsible for it. But technically, as far as based on the movies that I've watched and how bookies handle things, I don't think they would have cared. They were going to lose their money because they were betting against the Sentinels, and they're going to make it to the playoffs. You know.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I wasn't 100% sure the first time I watched it, and I was like, I'm assuming that's what he means is that like he broke his arm, so he's out of the game, so they can't expect him to do anything. So whatever happens, happens.
Right. Okay.
So how does that affect the gambling?
I guess they have some sense of that. Well, he can't like if he had kicked that field goal and made it, they would have like broke his legs or took his pub or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then if he pulled it, then they wouldn't do anything. But then his team would hate him. I guess.
Yeah, if he like shanked it or something.
Yeah. So I guess
that's the only thing.
I guess that makes sense now. Ben, do you not have anything else? Because I can keep going.
But how does that affect the gambling?
Oh God! All right, I think that's pretty much going to do it for this one.
Wait, I got one more piece of trivia.
All right,
not because I've seen this movie so many times. Do you guys? I remember reading. I think there's a point of contention that Keanu Reeves did not do any of the dancing scenes.
Wait, really? That was a point of contention?
Or people were saying, no, he did do it. And then other people saying, no, it's a double. Because you never see his face when in the dancing scene.
That's true. You just see a long-haired dude
with a hat
twirling around.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't find it like too hard to believe that Keanu did all that dancing.
Yeah, but this is a method. He's a method actor. He learned how to, to properly, do all the tactical moves in all the John Wick movies.
Yeah, and he learned how to be a total stoner doofus in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
He really
learned how to.
Well, I guess he was born with it.
Well, I guess maybe this was the movie that started the impetus for that. Maybe that was what probably got him to decide, you know what? No more stunt doubles. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it live.
I didn't like Orlando Jones making fun of me for not dancing. So
right. He kept ripping me for that. So, all right. Anything else, Stu, that stuck out to you want to talk about?
Let's see. I really like Jon Favreau's intro scene.
When he busts through and then
and
then all the meth dealers and then he's I still think my favorite is when he gets introduced to Keanu Reeves' character and he just hammers him twice into the ground. And then he goes, I'm just going to stay down here and collect my thoughts. Just figure shit out, and then just kind of walks away. Oh shit! Red means stop, like a stoplight, right?
All those characters are just.
Oh, so good.
And then when like the two brothers, like when the regular players were fucking with Keanu Reeves and tipping his trophy, and he comes out and
son of a bitch,
shoots up his car. That was awesome.
Turn him over. He's our quarterback.
Yeah,
that was great. What about you, Ben? Anything else you wanted to mention about this before we wrap this one up?
Oh, well, I just wanted to clear up one thing. I mean, who
How
is
does this affect the gambling?
No. Well, actually, does it? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll come back to it afterwards. Who is the religious guy, the Bible guy? Was that the guy who wanted to score the last touchdown? I couldn't really keep track of who he was.
Walter Cochran.
He was a guy. He was the guy who was saying that he was gonna go pro or whatever, but broke something or
He
something like that.
He said he played one game in the pros and then blew out his knee in that game.
Yeah,
So and then he blew out his knee again.
But he said he
blew it out. He said going out in front of 40,000 people ain't too bad.
Yeah. Damn.
He said earlier.
God's
plan. He said earlier in the movie that if he could score a touchdown, he would be in the pros. That would be
okay. So that was the same guy. Okay, right. Just making sure. All right, that was it. So, but how does that affect the gambling, David?
It doesn't. I mean, it definitely hurts their prospects not having their star running back to be able to score.
How does Jumbo affect the gambling?
Oh, dude, it's based on the number of eggs he eats.
Oh, God. Which leads me to another football question. If I were a football team owner, my entire offensive line would be fucking sumo wrestlers. Like, why wouldn't you?
I know. Why is that not a thing?
Yeah, so I'll take a parlay with over 5 eggs eaten and and 2 vomits.
Right?
2 vomits during
the reason why is because sumo wrestlers are so used to not playing with shirts on. If they had to wear pads, I'm sure they'd probably be like, "Oh, I don't want to do that."
Yeah, I guess. But my entire offensive line would be sumo wrestlers. So ain't no one touching my quarterback.
Maybe we need to figure out some way to. So we're gonna start a GoFundMe so that we can have the Cinco's football team
buy a team
in the NFL. That's right. We're gonna buy a team, and then we're gonna replace the entire team, offensive linemen with football players. We're gonna get
football players.
That's right. And then all the tight ends will be LeBron James.
Okay.
And
all the kickers would be soccer players.
Yeah, that's right. Quarterbacks will be Keanu Reeves.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
First string, second string.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Guys, thank you for letting me choose the replacements for this week. I believe the birthday boy has a choice for us for our second movie for That's What I Call Cinco's Sports Edition. Ben, what movie are we reviewing next week?
Well, because we didn't get to choose the best football movie in the entire world for this, it's only natural that we choose the best basketball movie starring the same character, Buddy, the golden retriever. Oh my God, it's Air Bud. It's Air Bud 1.
The OG, the original Air Bud. So make sure to tune in next week. Catch us on the episode 45 of the Dos and a Half Cinco's podcast. We'll be reviewing Air Bud as part of our series, That's What I Call Cinco's Sports. As always, I have been your host, David.
And I'm Stuart.
And I'm Ben.
The birthday boy. Definitely, guys, make sure to check us out on wherever you're getting your favorite social media, YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Google Play Music, and Apple Podcasts. Definitely check us out on Twitch. We stream every week at 7 o'clock on Thursdays. Make sure to drop a comment. Let us know what games you guys might want to see. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to tip your Reiki masters, and we will check you guys on the next one. Hey, bye.
Okay, bye.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Happy birthday.
I don't think I've ever helped anybody else get a better score than me. I always made sure to feed him a couple of bad
Well,
answers.
no, but I mean, like, inadvertently, like They asked you the answer for one question and you gave it to them, and then they ended up let's say they crowdsourced their cheating, whereas you just tried to do it yourself, and they ended up getting a better grade than you. Or maybe not even a test, or just a assignment or something.
No, I don't think I've ever had that happen. I don't know, because every time I tried to help somebody, I would always tell them that, hey, you need to be a little bit more discreet about this and mess up a couple more or whatever, so that way it's not as obvious, right?
Right.
But multiple choice exams much easier, obviously.
Yeah.
What was your favorite cheating device? Mine was the what do they call them? The something sheets?
Cheat sheet?
No, not a cheat sheet. Yeah, well, we'll call it that.
That's
But there's another name.
That's a pretty
No,
generic.
there's another name for it. But the cheat sheet, but rolled inside of a clear
water bottle or something.
Oh, dude, that was too obvious. Or I heard that people would write it on the other side of the water bottle, they would write it on the inside of the label, and then they would open it up and stuff. I was like,
right.
Man, that's pretty elaborate. If you spent that much time cheating,
you might as well have studied.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, give me 1 second.
Got
what? You can always cut it out, Ben. What is it?
What are we or what's the movie for next week?
Who's picking?
I already picked, so it's one of you two. Well, since it's the birthday boy, let the birthday boy pick.
Oh boy,
Airbud. Okay, moving on.
Okay.
I was like, was that really a choice at all?
Is that really what it is? I was just guessing.
Well, I mean, it is kind of a choice. I think there's 26 different choices. Let me double check.
In the Airbud thematic universe, cinematic universe,
the ACU.
Yeah, the ACU.
The ABCU.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, I think you need one more letter in there.
The ALCU.
Oh, I was about to say that too. Or the ACLU.
There's 14 we can pick from.
Oh, not we, Ben.
Reverse order.
That choice boils down to you. We had one football movie, so there's 4 other major sports for the U.S. So
okay, fine. Do you want to watch Santa Paws, The Winter Soldier, or do you want to see Airbud Infinity War?
Airbud Infinity War would be awesome. Is that really a thing? How about Airbud Endgame? I am Airbud, and then
Airbud and the Wasp. I don't.
Right. But
I really don't. I don't want our basketball movie to be Airbud, but at the same time I want to watch Airbud.
Okay, well, we have to have an animal. That's what I call Cinco's.
Okay, an animal-related movie. Okay.
Yeah, then I won't choose Airbud. Either that, or I'll choose Golden Receiver.
Okay. Well, we just watched a football movie.
We just watched a football movie.
Damn it. Okay, well,
one of the greatest football movies. But let's not get into that. All right, just go ahead and think about it. I think that we can do. That's what that's what I call Cinco's
animal movies.
Yeah, animal. What's it called? Anthropomorphizing. Shit. See, it's hard to say. Anthropomorphizing.
No.
Is there an Animorphs movie right now?
Animorphs. That's what I was saying. Okay.
Oh. Well, I mean, I know there's going to be an Animorphs TV series coming up and a new movie, but is there an old Animorphs movie?
Probably not.
Damn. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right on in.